What's up, everyone? Welcome to 237 Circle Pyramid. So this challenge over here wants us to draw these 6 circles in a pyramid shape, and a couple of notes over here is each circle has radius 50. It wants to be centered in the X direction over here, and these circles should rest on the bottom of the canvas. We also want to use for loops over here. So I'm going to start planning this out over here and do it in real time for you guys. So the first one that I want to do, because I see 3 at the bottom, is I know that based on the caterpillar challenge, I can do multiple in a row. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. So my first circle that I'm going to draw is the bottom left over here. So first thing that I want to do is I want to find what position this point is over here. So looking at the graph over here, that looks like it's right in the middle of the grid. So it looks like it's negative 100, negative 200. So I'm going to try and set position over to negative 100, negative 200, and see where we get over here. All right, so it looks good. So if I started making a circle over here, it said radius 50. So if I put the pen down and then put circle radius 50, let me see what that looks like. Perfect. All right, so knowing that that's going to be my first circle over here, I want to repeat the same circle command just like I did back in the caterpillar challenge. That time it was 20. I'm going to do this 3 times over here. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to say over here for I in range 3. And what I need to do is put the pen down, then circle, and then I need to lift the pen up. That way I don't drag the line to the next circle. And once the pen's up, I'm going to go forward. So how far forward should I be going? So a lot of people start by going forward the same amount as the circle. Let me close this over here. So this is a loop. All right. So, but what happens is when your distance is the same is these circles overlap. So the radius is 50, which is half the length. So we need to use the whole length of the circle, 100, in order to make it all the way so that they don't overlap, which is what we learned in 225. So if I run this over here, we're going to draw 3 circles over here without them overlapping. So I've solved now 1/3 of this challenge over here. So I'm basically going to do the same thing for the second part of the challenge, where I'm just going to repeat. I'm going to copy paste this loop over here because it successfully draws the circle, but I have to draw this circle in the second line over here. So I have to kind of figure out where that is. And by the way, this successfully touches the bottom. So the next thing I need to do is I need to pick the pen up, and then I need to figure out where to set position again. So set position, and just based on a general overview of where it is, it kind of looks like that circle should be maybe at negative 100, negative 100. So I'm going to start there as a starting point and see what that looks like. So negative 100, comma, negative 100. Let's see where he draws those circles. So that's a little bit off over here. So I'm going to increase the speed back up to 10. And so I need to move right more. So looking at the graph over here, not negative 100, so maybe negative 50, comma, negative 100 over here. So let's try that over there, negative 50. Yes, awesome. Okay, so the reason I guess negative 50 was it directly stacking was negative 100, so I needed to move the distance's radius forward in order to be centered over here. Well, you can see that that's centered at the point over here, and the radius over here is exactly that amount, half the distance to draw another circle where they were originally overlapping. Perfect. Okay, so what do we do now? So next thing is I'm going to draw the final circle over here. And to draw the final circle, it's just these commands over here. It's the same thing to draw any circle. So I'm just going to copy and paste them and get the alignment all the way to the left. And then I need to set position one more time, pen up, and then set position. I just got to figure out where the last set position is. So this circle is directly on top of the original circle. So if this circle over here was negative 100, comma, negative 100, we need to go forward 100. So that should be at 0. And then I know that being at 0, I just have to figure out how far up that this circle goes. So I know that it should be at 0, and let's try this at, I don't think it's right, but let's try set position 0, 0, because it looks like that's a little too low. And, oh, no, perfect. It was exactly where I wanted it to be. So if we check the code, it meets all of our demands, but also in the assignment, there's an extra challenge, which is to get rid of the space between each row. So in order to get rid of the space, let's see what I can do. So the second row over here, set position, needs to be lowered just a bit. So that means I need to lower the Y position. So maybe from 110, let's try that at 111 and see if those touch over there. Almost. Let's try 120. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a little bit too much. Yeah, they overlap. So let's maybe do in the middle 115 And let's see if they are able to touch. Perfect. All right, and now I just got to lower the top circle. So so basically I lowered this over here 15, so maybe I should also lower this one 15. Let's see if that matches. Set position, and just a little bit lower. So let's try that at negative, I don't know, negative 20. See if that hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just a tiny bit more. Negative 25. Could be negative 30. I'm just guessing and checking. You guys got to see my process. It looks just a tiny bit more. All right, so negative 30. And that should be it, and that should be the end of circle pyramid. So that was my thinking process on how to solve this over here. Perfect, using loops over here. And I hope this was helpful to you guys. For those of you who didn't use a loop in any of them, you definitely can solve it other ways. This is just one way to do it. So hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.